Good evening, everyone, from Larry Knight Field on the campus of, well, we're not on the campus of Sumrall, actually, but we are in Sumrall nonetheless as the Bobcats get ready to take on district rival, the Forest County Aggies. The Aggies come in here with a record of 6-8 overall, 2-2 in district play. Your Bobcats are 13-4 overall, 3-1 in the district. Drew Davis taking his warm-up tosses here for the Bobcats. Let's go with the starting lineup for the Aggies. Hayden Grice leads it off playing left field. Batting second, the shortstop, Brooks Lumpkin. Hitting in the three-hole for Coach Kyle Dolan is Blaine Palmer. He's the catcher. Wes Hughes at first base, bats in the cleanup spot. Parks Brock, the DH, hits fifth. He is hitting for the pitcher, Brett Robertson. Preston Anderson, the right fielder, bats sixth. Batting seventh is Logan Archer, the Aggie third baseman. And then rounding out the Forest County batting order, C.J. Eade in center field, and batting ninth, Nick Rushing, the second baseman. We'll have the Sumrall batting order for you in the bottom of the first inning. But to remind you that the Bobcats on the web are made possible by the sponsorships of the following businesses, including Diversified Forestry Management, Real South Hunting, American Graphics, thanks to Stan Welburn, Watts Brothers Implements, Kids Campus Learning Center, that's Kids Campus with a K, Kids with a K, Campus with a K, the architecture firm of Landry, Lewis, and Germany. So the Spencer Nixon Alpha Insurance Agency, Winburn Lawn and Landscaping, Parkwright Striping and Seal Coating, and High and Tight Gentlemen's Club. So Drew Davis to work against the right-handed hitting Hayden Grice here in the top of the first inning. Glad that you're with us on a picture-perfect night here in the Raw. Could not be any better. 1-0 pitch is there on the corner for strike one. The Sumrall defense has Landon Hawkins at third, Landon Holloman at short, Tyson Hicks at second, and Leo Odom at first. That's been pretty consistently the lineup for Andy Davis. There's strike two on a fastball. Cade Clinton in left for the Bobcats, Brazil in center, and Baudouin in right field. So that's your defensive lineup for Sumrall. There's a swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Grice went out to try to get it, and he strikes out. One away, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Brooks Lumpkin. These two teams were supposed to play Tuesday night, but because of the heavy rain that we took on Tuesday, the game originally slated for Brooklyn was moved here to Sumrall. But even as well as this field drains, there's strike one, the field was just a little bit too wet to play on Tuesday, so they moved it, keeping it in Sumrall, but moved it to tonight, of course, and these two teams will battle tomorrow night. Here's a ground ball to Holloman, routine play over to Odom, and Lumpkin is out on the 6-3. 2 up and 2 down. But the Aggies and Bobcats will play again tomorrow down in Brooklyn. Our text number, as always, 601-310-7077. Christy Martin has beaten everybody to the punch tonight. She's watching on her big screen TV down in Folsom, Louisiana. You can reach us at that number as well, 601-310-7077. First pitch swinging, Blaine Palmer lashes it foul into the screen over to our right. No wind to speak of, very pleasant night, just some scattered cirrus clouds up above. Not even that substantial. 0-1 pitch here. Breaking ball is a chopper toward third. Hawkins has got it, sets his feet, throws it across the diamond, and that is that. The Aggies go up and down 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. So Davis sets them down in order. So let's now take a look at the Sumrall batting order. Again, the Bobcats 13-4 overall, 3-1 in the district. Barrett Brazil will lead it off. He'll be followed by Landon Holloman. Walker Long, the catcher, batting in the three-hole, followed by the DH, Connor Walker. Cade Clinton bats fifth. He'll be followed by Landon Hawkins in the six-hole. Then rounding out the order for Sumrall is Leo Odom, Hampton Baudouin, and Drew Davis. Kelly Sander along with Brody Courtney. Glad that you are with us. Wish you were here at the ballpark because it sure is a pretty night. But if you couldn't make it, we're glad that you're with us wherever you might be, on your smart TV, on your radio, on your tablet, whatever is your device of choice for listening or watching to Sumrall Bobcat baseball. And again, wouldn't be available to you without the businesses that we mentioned earlier in this webcast putting the money up to make sure that you had nothing but the best high-definition equipment. We spent all the money on equipment and very little on broadcasting talent. So we hope that, that you'll be a little bit patient with us. Deanne Courtney is watching tonight from the 601. On the mound for the Aggies is Brett Robertson. Robertson, the lanky right-hander, will face Brazil, Holloman, and Long here in the bottom of the first inning. Bobcats were beaten by Petal over the weekend and got a scare the night before from Lawrence County. So it's another week where the Bobcats have got a lot of baseball in a short period of time. They play the Aggies here tonight, the Aggies in Brooklyn tomorrow, and then go up to play the Brandon Bulldogs. And Brandon is going to be one of those teams in 6A that could very well be playing for the state championship. I would say at Trustmark Park, but after that debacle with the turf earlier this week for the Southern Miss, Ole Miss game, I don't know that Trustmark Park will be hosting anything, quite frankly. But we'll see. A lot of baseball yet to be played here in the regular season. Three-man umpiring crew. And we're ready for the Bobcat half of the first inning. Brazil leads it off. He was taking his cuts in the cage before in the indoor training facility. And Brazil all of a sudden ran out of the batting cages in a furious hurry, like something had happened. The guys were even concerned, what happened? Well, here's the first pitch to him. Tried to show bunt and pulled it back for ball one. What had happened is he had forgotten his good luck charm, the stuffed animal that was in his truck. And heaven forbid that the stuffed animal would be left alone in the truck. Outside now, 2-0 to him. Just a wisp of a wind now. That's low. 3-0 now to Brazil with Holloman in the on-deck circle. But the Bobcats, after nearly squandering a game against Lawrence County and then being beaten by Petal, they desperately want to get back on the winning track here tonight against the rival Aggies. There's a strike on the corner, 3-1. They play Brazil straight away here. He has been rock solid in that leadoff spot and defensively for Sumrall. Here's the chopper towards second. Brazil moves well. Quick throw to first is in time. He's out on the 4-3 putout. The throw from Nick Rushing to Wes Hughes sends Brazil back to the dugout with one away, and here's Holloman. Let's see who else is checking in from the 601 area code tonight. Karen Thompson is watching tonight. Karen, glad to have you along. She and Richard back from Florida visiting Germ. There's a pop bunt down the third base line. They will let it go foul. The valiant effort by Holloman would have easily made it, but the Aggies alertly saw the spin on that ball and knew it was going to most likely go foul, and that's exactly what they did. And now advantage Aggies, because with Holloman trying to do that once, they can make adjustments defensively. Logan Archer in at the elbow at third, thinking he might try it again. Let's see, the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball strike. So Holloman in a hole here, 0-2. From the full windup, again, it's gotten to be more chic for pitchers to go from the stretch all the time. 0-2 pitch, tried to get him to chase a bad one. The wind blowing out toward left now, ever so slightly. It's just a wisp of a wind. I'm not sure that it would help much, but just for the record. 305 down the right field line, 325 down the left field line. And Holloman goes down on strikes. 2 away, and here's Long now. Walker Long headed to Holmes Community College. Holmes getting ready to play Pearl River this weekend down in Pop Vegas. Pearl River beaten by Hines, swept by Hines earlier in the week. Off-speed pitch is in there for strike one. Just sent a picture of the germ looking sharp there in his work clothes there in Orlando. Jeremy Thompson, of course, our longtime producer here, and what a future that young man has, whatever he decides to do. 1-1 to Walker Long. 2 outs, bases empty. Should he reach, then Connor Walker would come to bat. The windup in the pitch by Robertson is swung on. There's a shot towards short. Fielded cleanly, comes up, throw across the diamond. The throw was short, and Walker Long will race down to second base. And that'll be an error. I'm not sure whether they'll assign it to the first baseman or to the shortstop. But the bottom line for the Bobcats is Long is now lifted to where he can get the gear on, and Malik McNair will come in and run for him. So now Connor Walker gets to come up there. The throw was a little bit short, but normally you would think a first baseman could scoop that one. So that's a tough ruling. I mean, the error is clear, but who you assign it to, not so clear. Robertson brings the first pitch home, ball one. Now you've got McNair, who can fly, obviously, at second base, and he also has the advantage of there being 2 outs, so he doesn't have to worry about running into a double play on a line drive or anything like that. Happy opening day to you. The Major League Baseball season got underway today. 1-0 pitch, there's a chop foul wide of first. Coach Cooley looking on from his first base coach's box. Andy Davis down at third. His folks, no doubt, watching tonight up in Smith County. We've not heard from them yet tonight, but oh, they're here tonight. Okay, well, no wonder. A ball and a strike to Connor Walker. A throw to second base. Boy, that was kind of an unusual pickoff attempt, and you've got a wily veteran base runner there in McNair. 1-1 to Walker. Should he reach, then Cade Clinton comes up. There's a strike. 1-2. Connor Walker, one of the few left-handed hitters in this lineup, which gives Andy Davis his offense a little different look. And, man, you talk about a guy that uses every inch of the box. Connor Walker's toes are about as far on that white chalk line as you can get without being out of the box. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Again, McNair will be on the move on anything hit. Outside, 3-2. Man, we have been thinking about it, and I know you don't spend a lot of time, but have we lucked out this year with the weather? Man, it has just been awesome. On the games that have been played, 3-2 pitch swung on. Here's a chopper towards second. This should be routine. Flip to first, and that retires the side. So the Bobcats leave a runner, although the runner reached on an error. We've completed one here at Larry Knight Field. No score. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Kelly Sander back in Sumrall tonight, along with Brody Courtney. Bobcats go to work defensively in the top of the second inning. It'll be Hughes, Brock, and Anderson to face Drew Davis. These district games, of course, are weighted a little bit more heavily because it's the district records that determine the seedings and who makes the playoffs and who doesn't. And, of course, the playoffs are the ones, obviously, that determine the state championship. Swung on, popped out of play right side, strike one. Baseball coaches will tell you there's kind of 3 seasons. There's the regular season, the district season, and the playoff season. And the reason they're kind of considered different seasons is because your decisions as to who you play, particularly who you pitch, are based on the importance of the contest. And obviously the district contests, you want your best 9 on the field. That's off the plate, 1 and 2. Because, again, that'll determine the seeding for the playoffs. And then the playoff season, you have the added pressure of having to win. Breaking ball, lifted foul, and that hits the back of the scoreboard at the football field. 1 and 2 the count to the leadoff hitter, Wes Hughes. Bobcats playing him to go the opposite way just a bit. The 1-2, breaking ball. That's tapped foul behind the plate. So Brazil expects him to go a little bit more toward right center. Then left center, Wes Hughes, the big right-handed hitting first baseman. 1-2 pitch is high. Two and 2 the count. The Atlanta Braves started the season with a win today. 2-2 pitch, swung on again, fouled out of play. The Braves beat the Nationals. The Rays beat the Tigers 4-0. So that's just one day closer now that the Tigers will be mathematically eliminated. But like a fool, I'm there watching on every platform I can get. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Hughes. Bounced up there, 3 and 2. Regardless of what happens here, Hughes has had a decent at bat. Even if you don't wind up at first base, you can have a good at bat by making the pitcher throw above average numbers of pitches, and that's low, ball 4. So Hughes coaxes a walk out of Davis, and that'll bring up Parks Brock. Kyle Dolan down at third base in his first year as head coach. Of course, Kyle Dolan, a graduate of Forest County AHS. His dad, Larry Dolan, of course, the sure thing Mississippi High School Hall of Fame football coach, who's back at Brooklyn now again after a stint down in D'Iberville. 1-0 to the designated hitter, Parks Brock. He's hitting for Brett Robertson, the pitcher. Hawkins coming in now expecting bunt. Tried to check his swing, but the pitch was outside. 2-0. Hawkins has to be careful that he doesn't overrun on that charge, because sometimes you can slap a bunt past an infielder that's charging too deep and too fast. The 2-0. There is the bunt right out in front of the plate. Hawkins looks at second, will go to first, and the throw is there. Odom has to lunge just a little bit. So the sacrifice works. Runner at second with 1 away. And here's Preston Anderson. Anderson hitting 6th in the order. So Kyle Dolan, he and his wife welcomed their first baby into the world not long ago. Good for them. There's a strike. And don't live too far from the family homestead down south of Hattiesburg. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Challenged him with power, and Anderson couldn't catch up to it. Now they play him straight away. Anthony James, a longtime assistant coach at Oak Grove, had been the head coach at Forest County, but Dolan in his first year this season, the 0-2. He got him. Down on strikes for out number 2. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Logan Archer. So Hughes will be running on contact at second base. Not an overly big lead. There's a strike on the corner. Davis has been stealth-like tonight. He has looked terrific. Neither team, it's still early yet here in the second inning, but neither team has a hit. There's a high throw that Holloman was able to get up and snag before it went into center field. I think that shows you the athleticism of Landon Holloman. He's not a very tall guy, but he's extremely athletic. And for him to be able to go up that high and pull that one down is certainly noteworthy. The 0-1 pitch. Strike on the inside corner. So Davis has worked each side of the plate and is ahead in the count 0-2. The 0-2 pitch swung on and fouled into the screen. So the count stays 0-2. Davis gets the signal again at the plate, and here's the pitch. That's outside, 1-2. Jim and Glenda Cody are watching tonight from the 601. Jim and Glenda, glad to have you along. Here's the 1-2 pitch. He got him on the outside corner. Strike 3, so Davis strikes out 2 out of the 3. And the Aggies strand a runner at second base after getting a leadoff walk. Nothing doing for the Aggies in the second. We go to the bottom of the second here at Larry Knight Field. No score. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So here we go to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Cade Clinton, Landon Hawkins, and Leo Odom for the Bobcats. You know, going back to that game against Lawrence County last week, you just kind of from the get-go, the Bobcats just kind of just didn't look like themselves. You know, sputtered a little bit out of the gate and then kept Lawrence County in the ball game as much with their own mistakes as it was Cougar hits. But like good teams do, they find a way to win, and that was a big one because it was a district contest. And then Peddle, much improved. There's a base hit into left field, a crisply hit ball that Clinton finds the hole between third and short. So a leadoff single here for the Bobcats in the second inning. And Landon Hawkins comes up now. Hawkins playing third base tonight. Aggies play him straight away here. And in the cage before the game, he was hitting some lasers. So we'll see how well he sees Robertson. The first pitch is low, ball one. Leo Odom on deck here in the bottom of the second inning. Always puts added pressure on the defense when you get the leadoff man aboard. And Clinton got it the hard way with a hit. There's a little looper over the shortstop's head into left center field. Rounding second is Clinton. He will come on to third base. Hawkins to second. No throw. And the Bobcats are in business with runners at second and third. Well, I'm glad Hawkins didn't make a liar out of me there. Well-placed ball right over the shortstop Brooks Lumpkin's head. And here's Leo Odom now. Nobody out here with runners on second and third. First pitch is outside and low, ball one. And as good as the Sumrall baseball team is, how about the softball team? Man, have they lost a game? I'm not sure that the softball team has even lost a game. They're pretty good. 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. 1-1 to Odom with Hampton Baudouin on deck. Playing right field tonight. Here's the 1-1. Check swing. And the ball caromed off the padded walls behind home plate right to the catcher. That's what really makes that decision to run from third risky sometimes, because if that ball cameras back at the right angle, you're a dead duck by a mile. 2-1 the count to Odom. There's strike two on the inner part of the plate, 2-2 now. So again, the long-awaited Major League Baseball season is underway. I got to tell you, I watched some of the games today, and I think I really like the pitch clock, where they've got to get rid of it. There's a swing and a miss. Odom is out on strikes, one away. And here comes Baudouin. Because it did seem like the games moved just so much quicker. Baudouin looking for anything to the right side of the infield. If he gets a pitch out there, go that direction, at least get that guy home from third. First pitch to him. There's a little looper into right center field. That's down for a base hit. That'll score one. Rounding third is Hawkins. That play, delayed throw. It's a one-out single that scores two, and the Bobcats are up 2-0. 2 RBIs for Baudouin. So he's at first with one away, and here's Drew Davis getting to swing the stick for himself here. 3 hits all in this inning for the Bobcats, and it has plated 2 runs. First pitch to Davis was a ball. Robertson back to work. And there's a strike. Boy, I'm not sure that he's setting a full second here. Robertson needs to be careful. That last pitch, in my opinion, he borderline balked. See how he doesn't really come set for a full second, it looks like to me, but nobody's saying anything, so it's okay. 1-2 the count to Drew Davis. Just 1 out. So they'll go back to the top of the order with Brazil taking some warm-up cuts to our right. As we are high atop the press box at Larry Knight Field. Here's a high fly ball playable to left field. Should be routine, and it is. Pulled down in left by Hayden Grice, and that's 2 away. Back to the top of the order, and Brazil, who grounded to second his first time up. It's always fun to call a ball game, but man, just watching this one tonight, the weather just could not be any better. Nice to get outside. Plenty of those 95-degree temperatures coming later on this summer, so enjoy it while you still have a cool night here or there. The Aggies and Bobcats will do battle again tomorrow in Brooklyn. First pitch is outside, ball one. I have to tell you, there was one time I was coaching an American Legion team for Hattiesburg, and my team was playing in Brooklyn. And I'm not saying this to be funny. It's just how unique the Brooklyn campus is down there. Showing bunt, throws down to second base, and the runner is out. And they're claiming that Bowden was claiming that they missed the tag entirely. You know, that the throw beat him there for sure, but that he wasn't even close on the tag. Andy Davis will discuss it. But coaches usually don't win that discussion. But the Bobcats do put up 2 in the bottom of the second inning, 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors, no one left on base. Back for the top of the third in a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. C.J. Eade, Nick Rushing, and Hayden Grice will be the offerings for Forest County here in the top of the third inning. Glad that you're with us. Anyway, I was telling that story about coaching the game in Brooklyn. And it was the only time in my 42 years of coaching youth baseball that time had to be called for a particular reason. It just so happened that one of the cows, I kid you not, one of the cows decided he wanted to watch the game and kept putting his snout over the center field fence. And we had to call timeout 2 or 3 times to make sure that the cow did not become a playable part of the surface. It was awesome, actually. Here's the first pitch to Eade. That pitch is high, ball one. And it was really for the cow's safety, but we were flattered that a bovine was interested in watching some baseball. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's a foul tap. 1-1 now. The umpire, Cullip, will go out there, and David Cullip, or Mike Cullip. I get the Cullips mixed up. But I think it's David Cullip. 1-1. And the cow was just as nice as he could be, and he would leave for about 2 minutes, and then he would wander back up to the fence and would have to call timeout again. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, high fly ball to right field, not deep. Baudouin is there, or Baudouin, rather, and he makes the catch for out number 1. I was so good about not messing up Baudouin, and there I just screwed it up. But he made the catch in right. 1 away. Here's Nick Rushing. Rushing, the second of 2 left-handers in the batting order for the Aggies. He and Logan Archer are the only 2 that swing it from that side. First pitch to him is high, ball 1. Playing him to go the opposite way, Brazil shaded toward left. There's a strike on the corner. One thing you like about the way this umpire calls the game is decisive. quick. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball out. Nice job by Walker Long trying to frame that pitch a little bit and pull it in. Drew Davis very much within himself. And remember, this kid's just an 8th grader. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. There's all kinds of room in right center field. But Rushing would have to try to get ahead of that fastball a little bit. Swung on. Here's a chopper toward third. Look out. Over Hawkins' head and into left field. That's a 1-out single. Hawkins was played in a little bit. Had he been back maybe even with the bag or maybe a step back, he might have been able to make that play. But it's a clean hit all the way. Rushing is aboard with 1 out. And here's Hayden Grice. First pitch from Davis, the breaking ball outside. Nice job by Long, keeping it in front of him. I used to coach a kid named Derek Grice, and his nickname was Red Beans. We called him Red Beans and Grice. Yeah, we stretch every once in a while. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Throw down to second base is really high and into right center field. Brazil was ready to fire the cannon in right. But Rushing stayed tethered at second base. But he's there with 1 out. And a 1-1 count to the hitter. Grice struck out swinging to lead off the game. Again, bounced up there, 2-1. Walker Long, to look at him, I think you could probably guess he's a catcher. He's a big dude. And most catchers are. But the guy'd have to be tough, too. 2-1 pitch, high and inside, 3-1. So the Yankees trying to pick up the offensive scent here in the top of the 3rd inning, trailing 2-0. The 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Full count. Now Grice wants time to get himself ready to go. Again, wind is not a factor, should not be a factor. 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. So the Yankees have runners on first and second, and here comes the boss man out of the dugout. So a single and a walk after the fly to right field, and Andy Davis has the coach's cap on now, but sometimes you got to wear the dad cap. He might be talking at where he's coming off the mound improperly. But they don't want the Aggies to get back in this one. Diversified Forestry, thank you for your continued support. High and Tight Gentlemen's Club, that's a barber shop that the guys really like going to. Keeps them looking fresh. Real South Hunting and Parkrite Striping and Seal Coating, thank you for your support. Windburn Lawn and Landscaping, you know they're busy this time of year. And Watts Brothers Implements, they've been with us for a long time. Thanks to all the businesses. First pitch is a strike to Brooks Lumpkin. He grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Runners are in a forced situation. Bobcats would love to get a crisply hit ground ball right at one of the fielders. Breaking ball and a beauty in there for strike 2. Nobody knows his own son more like your dad, and in this case, he also happens to be your coach. But Drew has settled down. His first 2 pitches were terrific. The 0-2 just cued it off the end of the bat to stay alive. 0-2 the count. Sumrall and Brooklyn tomorrow. Maybe they'll be cowless tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe they'll have to put the cows up at least for one game. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball, swung on and fouled away. 0-2. And I'm really not making fun. It was really kind of cool. It was really neat. But that's one of the things that makes Forest County unique. 0-2 pitch. Swung on. Here's a grounder to short. This could be 2. 6-4. Throw to first. 2-3. 6-4-3 double play. The Bobcats are out of the inning. The Aggies, no runs on one hit. There were no errors. One man left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. It's the Bobcats 2, the Aggies nothing. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Top of the order for the Bobcats. Brazil will get a fresh count. You remember he was up to bat when Baudouin was thrown out at second base. They hit Robertson pretty good last inning with 3 runs, and they were able to plate, or 3 hits rather. They were able to plate 2 of those. So the bottom of the third we go here in scheduled 7-inning game. And here's Brazil.
Leading off in the bottom of the third, center fielder Ferret Brazil.
The Aggies consistently have been playing the Bobcats pretty much up the middle. Robertson has struck out a couple of Bobcats. He has 1 strikeout per inning so far. First pitch to Brazil's outside. He's not going to necessarily blow you away with a 86 or 87 mile an hour fastball, but he's always around the plate. That's off the edge. 2-0 now. Bobcats got their leadoff man aboard last inning. We talked about how that tends to turn into runs, and that's exactly what happened. They scored 2 off the plate again, 3-0. And with the speed of Brazil, if he's going to be on first, ideally you want to make him earn his way on. The 3-0 pitch. Outside, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk. And the leadoff man again for the Bobcats is on, and here's Landon Holloman, who struck out swinging his first time. Walker Long waiting to our right for his second at bat. First pitch to him, swung on. There's a base hit into left field. So just like last inning, the Bobcats have their first 2 men aboard. Runners at first and second with Long coming up. And boy, Bobcat fans would love to see a long ball here. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Rollcats. 0-1-1 for the Aggies. Playing long, actually, to pull just a hair. Boy, this one is right off the end of the bat. You talk about some English on that ball. You shoot pool, you know what we're talking about, that little side spin. Boy, I think if he tried to put that much spin on it again, I don't think he could do it. Umpire says we're putting that baseball out of commission. 0-1 the count to Walker Long. He reached on an error his first time up, put the ball in play to shortstop. But then it was either an errant throw or an errant catch at first base that allowed him to stay. And if it were me, for the record, I'd probably have to give the error to the first baseman. But there would be just as many people argue that the throw wasn't what it should have been. So, again, pickoff play at second base. And back in time is Brazil. Andy Davis kind of, shall we say, encouraging his runner at second base to be more careful. The 1-1 pitch. There's a strike on the inner part of the plate, trying to bust Walker Long inside. And if the pitchers are going to work inside, then the hitters have to make contact with the ball out in front of the plate so they can pull it. The 1-2 pitch. Took one bounce up to the plate, so it evens out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And this is the kind of night you just want to get a cup of coffee and just kind of sit out on the porch and have a little conversation. 2-2 pitch, able to stay alive as he tapped it foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Walker Long, with another Walker on deck, Connor Walker. You know, the name in the area over the years, of course, in Sumrall would be the last name Sumrall. Obviously, a lot of brooms. Jones County has Holofields and Coolies. You know, each county seems to have their name. On the coast, it's Ladner. A lot of Ladners down on the coast. A lot of Walkers now around here. Walker Long, although Walker, obviously Walker Long, it's his first name. Robertson back to the set position. He's wise to be careful with Walker Long because he's got home run power. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled again. Count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 on, nobody out here for the Rawlers in the bottom of the third. Man, coming to the ballpark tonight, I saw Shirley Haddix down there right behind home plate. 2 or 3 of you stopped me and gave me a neck hug and a handshake, say how much you enjoy the webcasts. Very kind. 2-2 pitch, again fouled at the plate. Long in a defensive mode, but having a good at bat here. Again, burning extra pitches for Robertson, which ideally then would wear the pitcher down a little bit, make more mistakes the deeper he goes into the game. But thank you for all the kind words, but the truth of the matter is that Brody Courtney is what makes this thing go. He's the rock star. 2-2 pitch, swung on. Here's a drive to center field, right at the center fielder who was there waiting on it. C.J. Eade pulls it down, and there's one away. He barreled it up, but Eade was right there. And here's Connor Walker, who grounded out to second base. What's that, buddy? Oh, you're welcome. It's true. Brody and the rest of the crew, they have everything set up, so they literally hand me the headset and say, Mr. Sander, here's your headset. Respectful and thorough and professional. Bounce out in front of the plate. That'll get the runners up a base. So now 2 men in scoring position with 1 out, and the double play is off the table. And Connor Walker, being a left-handed hitter, if he can pull anything to the right side again, that would at least get the runner home from third. And that's Brazil, who's obviously fleet of foot, and Holloman, we talked about his athleticism earlier. He's at second. Robertson comes set, checks the runner, and delivers inside. The little wisp of a wind that we had earlier tonight is gone to bed, I think. It is so comfortable here at the ballpark. That bounced at the plate, losing track of it behind home plate, and another run is in. Brazil skates home from third. Alertly got a good secondary lead. And when the ball got away from Blaine Palmer, he got in to score, and Holloman moved to third. So the Bobcats put across 2 in the second, 1 more here in the third. And there's a strike. And he was on the take there. Now he'll have to get back to work if the pitch calls for it. The 3-1. Got foul tip at the plate. The count fills now at 3-2 with Cade Clinton on deck. Clinton playing left field tonight, but he's played just about everywhere except catcher. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 inside. So Connor Walker becomes a walker with a 4 balls there. And the Aggies call timeout here. Runners at the corners. Runners at first and third with only 1 out. Thanks to Spencer Nixon and his Alpha Insurance Agency, Kids Campus Learning Center, and the architects at Landry, Dews, and Germany. Again, these businesses make sure that you get the best view of the game possible if you're not at the game. We've got multi-high definition cameras. We have a brand new computer. I remember last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago, that we were trying to raise money for the state-of-the-art computer that makes all this go. So if you have need for their goods and services, we hope that you will patronize their goods and services. So here's Clinton now. Righty versus righty, the matchup, again with runners at the corners and 1 away. First pitch swinging is runner down at first base. Is that Pittman? Eli Altman running at first base. For Walker, the DH. 0-1 pitch to Clinton. Altman streaking down to second base. He's there standing up. So again, that takes the double play off the table. And 1-1 the count to Clinton. He singled and scored his first time up. A nice sharply hit ground ball between third and short. That one's high and inside, 2-1. With Landon Hawkins on deck. Hawkins also with a single and a run scored. Glad that you're with us tonight on our YouTube channel. Tyler Johnson will have you tomorrow night down in Brooklyn. 2-1 pitch that's low and away. And Tyler will also have the call for you Saturday when the Bobcats head to Brandon. 3-1 to Clinton. So he can hit his pitch here if it comes across the plate, and there it is. But this is popped up to shallow center field. Center fielder can't find it. Nobody knows where it is, and the ball drops. Lost it in the lights. That's a shame, but that's part of the game. It looked to me like it was more toward center field, but more toward left. And you got to give Clinton a single on that play and an RBI.
Third baseman, Landon.
Pop up, the easiest play in baseball, only if you can see it. But it was hit so high it went through the light line here. And then by the time it came back through the lights, the Aggies could not make the adjustment. So here's Hawkins now. First pitch to him is outside, ball one. So 4-0 Sumrall here in the third. One out with runners on first and second. So the force is on again. Any base except home. The 1-0 pitch, there's a strike. Hawkins wearing the number 16. Now, when his brother comes up, you can't wear two 16s, but it seems like that's all the Hawkinses have ever worn is 16. Swung on, there's a base hit up the middle. This should score another one. Altman racing around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's off the mark. Altman scores. It's 5-0 Sumrall.
First baseman, Leo Odom.
Well, I'm glad Hawkins didn't make a liar out of me. I said he was lacing him in the cage before the game, and he's swinging a good bat here tonight. Here's Leo Odom now with runners on first and second, one out. Breaking ball strike. Odom struck out swinging his first time up. Leo, whose brother Levi, of course, was here. Now at Mississippi Gulf Coast, 0-1 pitch, swung on, ground ball, base hit into right field. Rounding third. Here comes another run, another throw to the plate, and it is just off the mark. No throw to second. Odom advances to second on the throw. Clinton scores, and it's 6-0.
Right fielder, Anton Odom.
So Hawkins goes to third. Odom to second on the single and the RBI. So the hit parade starting. Here's Baudouin now. He singled his last time up. Wound up being rung up at second on a steal attempt. First pitch to him. Swung on and lifted out of play to the right. Baudouin hitting 8th in the order. Drew Davis on deck. But boy, those extra runs sure helps a pitcher's morale, doesn't it? When you know you got plenty to work with. And Drew Davis wouldn't need much to work with, but nonetheless, here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled again, out of play to the right. Baudouin would like to straighten this out. 0-2 to the Sumrall right fielder. 2 in the second for the Rawl Cats. 4 more here in the third. 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Sumrall. 0, 1, and 1 for the Aggies. Sumrall 3-1 in district play. The Aggies 2-2. The 0-2 pitch. Checked his swing. Umpire says he did not go and no appeal. On Baudouin's single last inning, he got both of the RBIs. The 1-2 pitch. Again, looked at a pitch that was outside, 2-2. Just one out. So the Bobcats have been very efficient with their hits and runs. Swung on, right back to the pitcher. Freezes the runner at third, and the play at first is out number 2. Baudouin hit it hard, but Robertson snagged it to make the play. 2 outs. Runners will be moving on contact now, and here's Drew Davis. He flew to left field his first time out. He's 0 for 1. Real easy here for the base runners. You're taking off on the crack of the bat. Throw to third on a pickoff attempt and close. But back is Hawkins. Second time through the order here for the Bobcats here in the bottom of the third inning. First pitch swung on. Here's a drive, but playable. Center field. Moving over to his right and making the play is C.J. Eade, and that'll do it for Sumrall. But they come up with 4 runs on 4 hits. No errors, 2 men left. We go to the top of the fourth. 6-0 Sumrall. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Palmer, Hughes, and Brock to face Drew Davis here in the fourth inning. Palmer grounded to third his first time up. He's hitting third in the order for Coach Kyle Dolan. I'm telling you, Kyle Dolan is one of those guys that whatever he's going to choose to do, he's going to do it well. Might take him a year or two to learn, but it's in his blood. He's a good one already. Great one yet to come. Palmer, there's a strike on the corner, 0-2 now. Lane Palmer, the catcher, righty versus righty, the matchup. And Davis on cruise control now with that lead. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. And here's Hughes now, the first baseman. He walked his first time up. Davis has given up 2 walks and has struck out 4. So a 2-to-1 walk to strikeout ratio. This guy's got a long career in front of him just here at Sumrall, just being in the 8th grade. Breaking ball. Ooh, and look out. Walker Long. I'm not sure Walker Long was expecting that pitch. From the reaction, I think he might have thought that the heater was coming. And he's going to come out and talk this over. Because if you're looking for a fastball, you're just positioned a little bit differently. And I think Walker Long was the most surprised to see that ball break. Even though he's got full complement of gear, and he's just a big dude. Bases empty, 1 out. 1-0 the count to Hughes. Davis and Long trying to get on the same page here. And quickly back to work. The 1-0 swung on, chopper toward third, but foul. Hawkins did the right thing. You can't really take for granted it's going to be foul. Let's check in with our text line again, 601-310-7077. Raymond and Truvy McCraney, they are continuing to grill and chill on Lincoln Road in Hattiesburg, watching the game, 1-1. Now 2-1. Kind of sounds like a CBS comedy, doesn't it? Grillin' and chillin' with Raymond and Truvy. If they're grilling, they could at least save a little bit for us, couldn't they, you guys? Kyle Dolan now talking to his first baseman, Wes Hughes.
I prefer my steaks medium.
I will make sure they know that. Brody Courtney wants his steak done medium. I like mine rare, actually. And a lot of restaurants won't cook a steak rare anymore. They're afraid you're going to get sick or something. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Boy, he blazed that one in there, but it was high and away, 3-1. Even though I've been in Mississippi for close to 40 years, I was raised in Iowa, and a lot of beef. You get fed a lot of beef in Iowa, and you learn not to overcook beef up there. 3-1 pitch. There's strike two. And Hughes, the cardinal sin, ditching the bat. The Aggies have got the bullpen warming up down there. The 3-2 pitch, the payoff pitch. That one bounced up there. So that's ball 4 to Hughes. Now he does get the walk. He's at first with 1 out. And that'll bring up Parks Brock. We talked about Davis being an 8th grader. Parks Brock is an 8th grader for the Aggies. He's a good-looking athlete for an 8th grader. Miss Anita Sumrall, our boss, watching from the softball game in Poplarville. And Miss Anita, am I right that the softball team, are they undefeated, or they haven't lost many, if they've lost any at all? Here's a chopper, bounder toward first. The only play will be at first. Odom steps on the bag to ring up out number 2. On the play, Hughes advances to second. So 3 unassisted on the putout. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Preston Anderson. Anderson struck out looking his first time up. One of the 4 strikeout victims, well, now 5 strikeout victims that Davis has put in the books. Breaking ball away. Anderson hitting 6th in the order. We talked about Kyle Dolan and his history at Forest County AHS. For a long time, Perry Wheat coached at Forest County AHS. And then went on to Purvis. Here's the 1-0. There's a strike. And Perry Wheat's daughter is Missy Bilderback, who was a record-setting coach at Jones College. Well, she just got named the head women's coach at Louisiana Monroe yesterday in the Sun Belt Conference. So good for her, and congratulations, Missy. 1-1 pitch, swung on and fouled to the right. Miss Anita has informed us that the Lady Bobcats are undefeated in district play. So I knew they were undefeated to some degree. A ball and 2 strikes to Preston Anderson. Should he reach, then Logan Archer would come to bat. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball again, staying alive. What's especially remarkable about Drew Davis at his young age is, we talked earlier about, he stays within himself. Seems pretty unflappable. When things are going good, you wouldn't know. But conversely, if and when things get bad, which hasn't been very often, the demeanor is the same. And he and Walker Long, looks like they're having there's some confusion somewhere. Pickoff play to second base, and the runner is out at second. Hughes got too big of a lead, and that's perhaps what they were trying to call, was a pickoff at second base, which may have come from Walker Long. So the Aggies strand, well, no, they don't strand him. He was picked off at second base. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. 6-0 Bobcats on the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Bobcats go back to the top of the order. Brazil, Holloman, and Long in the bottom of the fourth inning. 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Sumrall. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Aggies. And Brody, I know you put your request in for your steak. I have not heard from the McRaneys that a steak is forthcoming. So, you know,
It was worth a shot.
it was. The worst they can say is no, right? You never know till you ask. So here's Brazil. He's officially 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk. He did score a run. So Robertson back out there for another inning of work. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner. The 0-1 pitch outside. 1-1 now. In the 2 innings that the Bobcats have been successful, they have put their leadoff man on each time, or have gotten their leadoff man on each time. The 1-1 pitch. Outside again. 2-1. That's inside. 3-1. Yeah, you really don't want the way Brazil runs. You want to make him earn his way on. Now 3-1. He's got to swing obviously if the pitch is there, and he did, and he laces it into left center field. That ball is down. Gets away from the left fielder. Brazil will head into second base with a leadoff double. Hayden Grice tried to make a reverse pivot snag on that ball, but it fell back out of the glove, which allowed Brazil to get to second. So for the 3rd inning in a row, the Bobcats have their leadoff man on. And here's Holloman now with a strikeout, a single, and a run scored. First pitch, here's a drive. This ball's well hit toward left center. That ball is way back, and it is caught on the warning track. What a catch in center field by Eid. But tagging and moving to third is Brazil. Landon Holloman, where'd that power come from? He almost knocked it out of here. So he did get Brazil over to third, and then a sacrifice fly here would score him. Walker Long up to bat. First pitch to him. There's a drive into left center field. That ball right at Grice. He makes the catch in left field. Tagging and scoring easily is Brazil. It's 7-0 Sumrall, but Bobcats seeing the ball well now. Sacrifice fly for Long. Walker now with a ground out to second, a walk and a run scored. A 1-0 pitch to him with the bases empty. Low. 2-0 now with Cade Clinton on deck. Cody Davis, his dad, watching from Mississippi State. Swung on. Here's a drive over to the Helt Fieldhouse. Man, he golfed that one over there. Is that the Cody Davis, former relief pitcher extraordinaire, watching from Mississippi State, saying, "Go Bobcats"? That pitch is low. 3-1 now to Connor Walker. They're playing him to pull. But again, what wind there is now is blowing out toward left. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Low, ball 4. He wanted to wait, made sure the umpire called ball 4. Wise.
Left fielder Cade Clinton.
So we'll see if he's lifted again for a courtesy runner. He'll run for himself here, it looks like. And here's Cade Clinton. He has singled twice. Has an RBI and a couple of runs scored. So Clinton has had him a night, 2 for 2. Hawkins behind him, 2 for 2. Leo Odom, 1 for 2. So 5, 6, and 7 in the order have done a great job tonight, especially for the Bobcats. 1-1 the count to Clinton. Robertson has gone the distance for the Aggies. Breaking ball high, 2-1. And that wind now has really picked up out toward left field. 2-1 pitch, outside, 3-1. We saw a little bit of activity in the Aggies bullpen an inning or so ago, but it's been quiet since then. The 3-1 pitch, strike 2. And it was. So now the carousel starts. The runner will be going with the pitch. And Clinton versus Robertson here in a 3-2 standoff. The pitch. Swung on, and there's a base hit into right field. Rounding second on his way to third. Kind of a lob throw into the shortstop. Now racing towards second, Clinton. And runners on second and third with 2 outs. Cade Clinton, 3 for 3. Have a night, Cade. And that might be it for Robertson, and it is. Pitching change for the Aggies. We'll update things for you when we return in a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball. The starting third baseman for the Aggies, Logan Archer, has been dispatched here to try to shut off the faucet here. The Aggies gave up 2 runs to Sumrall in the second. Bobcats came up with 4 more in the third and 1 more here in the fourth. The total is 7. But they've got runners on second and third now with 2 outs. And Hawkins is swinging a hot bat right now. 2 singles, a run scored, and an RBI. And with 2 men out, which the runners will be moving on contact. First pitch to Hawkins from Archer. There's a shot into left field. There's another base hit. This will score another run. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is cut off. It is 9-0 Sumrall, and Hawkins is 3 for 3.
First baseman Leo Odom.
2 more RBIs for Hawkins. And the first pitch to Odom is low, ball 1. So Hawkins is the Lone Ranger at first base with 2 outs. Odom swinging a miss. Odom struck out swinging in the second inning. He did single with an RBI his last at bat last inning. So Cade Clinton and Landon Hawkins are 6 for 6 in the middle of that Sumrall lineup. Here's the 1-1. Hawkins going. That pitch is outside into second base, so he's there in scoring position. On a 2-1 count to Odom. Should he reach, then Hampton Baudouin would come up as the Bobcats bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The 2-1 pitch. Strike 2. So 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuce is wild here. Once the Bobcats started scoring runs, they've put up a bunch, 2, 4, and 3. There is an off-speed breaking ball strike. Odom is out. And so too are the Bobcats in the 4th inning, but they come up with 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors, 1 man left on base.
3 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. After 4 complete, Sumrall
So 4 done
fourth county.
here at Larry Knight Field. It's the Bobcats 9. The Aggies nothing. And the Aggies will send hitters 6, 7, and 8 to the plate when we return in a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball. Drew Davis back to work, and again he'll face Anderson, Archer, and Eade. Here in the top of the 5th inning, 9 runs, 10 hits, no errors for Sumrall. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Aggies.
Leading off on the top of the 5th for the Aggies, right fielder Preston Anderson.
Anderson struck out looking in the second. This just his second at bat against Davis as the wind continues to blow out toward left. First pitch here is high, ball 1. A lot of you have checked in. If you haven't, we'd love to hear from you at 601-310-7077. Yeah, the McRaneys never tell us what they're grilling. It could be chicken, it could be sausage, you don't know. Swung on, here's a base hit into right field. A leadoff single for Anderson here as the Aggies have their leadoff man aboard in the 5th. The Bobcats do have a double play. That was back in the third when Lumpkin hit into a 6-4-3. Here's Archer now, the pitcher. Swung on. Again, that's toward quick play to throw to first. What a play by Tyson Hicks. Moving to his left, reverse pivot, throws him out at first base. What a play. Runner advances to second. But that was some kind of play by Logan Hicks. And I just want to say something about Logan Hicks. He doesn't get to hit very often. He's in there for his glove. And when you get a chance to show what you can do, and then you do it like he did, man, that's what it's all about. You can help your team win in so many different ways. There's a strike to Eade. And lots of times that kind of gets swept under the rug, but it's plays like that that should be an inspiration to everybody. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball in. 1-1. Just in the smallest ways, you can help your team win because it is a team sport. Thank you, Captain Obvious. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. But I mean, if people would understand that it's a team, it's not about one particular player. It's about the cumulative effort of the team. And that play right there by Tyson Hicks ranks right up there with some of the best I've ever seen on this field. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled into the screen. And I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but a lesser second baseman would have given up on that ball. Would have just said, look, it's a hit into right field. Not him. Kept moving his feet and made a play. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, it's 1-2 to C.J. Eade. The center fielder. Breaking ball, foul tip, but it got away from Walker Long, so he stays alive. The Aggies and Bobcats will do it again tomorrow, but this time in Brooklyn. Then Saturday, they head up the 49 highway to Brandon. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. And, I mean, he blew it up there, and he tried to make contact. Just couldn't catch up to it. 2 down. Runner on second, and here's Nick Rushing, the second baseman. Umpires will now reposition themselves here. Rushing singled his last time and then wound up being stranded at second base. There's a first pitch strike. So this is only his second at bat officially against Davis. Bobcat defense has him shaded to go the other way. Runner on second, 2 away. 0-1 pitch, low, 1-1. Davis chunking it as hard now as he was earlier in the contest. 3-man umpiring crew. The JV tonight, Sumrall won handily, but only one umpire in the JV game tonight. 1-1, I think I'd appeal that. Walker Long, well, they said they didn't go. Boy, from my vantage point, it looked like he did. 2-1 the count. Anderson, the runner at second, with 2 away. There's a strike. Well, just challenged him with a heater right down Broadway. Again, deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Drew Davis checks the runner outside 3-2. Davis has a strikeout in the first inning. He struck out 2 in the second, 1 in the fourth, 1 more here in the fifth. The payoff pitch. Swung on, little looper, caught by Holloman, sliding to his right. There's that athleticism again by Landon Holloman, a little soft contact blooper that he was able to get under, and that'll do it for the Aggies. No run on 1 hit, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Bobcats lead it 9-0. Back in a moment. From the 601, we have heard from Jackie with some kind words. Thank you, Jackie. It's a pleasure for us to do these ball games. And thank you for the kind words. The Bobcats will send up hitters 8, 9, and 1. Beaudoin, Davis, and Brazil here in the bottom of the 5th inning, leading 9-0. And back on the hill for the Aggies for his 2nd inning of work is Logan Archer. Archer started at 3rd. He came in relief of Brett Robertson. So here's Beaudoin. He has singled and grounded to the pitcher. He does have a couple of RBIs with that base hit. Playing right field tonight is Beaudoin. Even with the bag at 3rd, all the other infielders are back. Going from the stretch, swing and a miss. Logan Archer, the man on the mound for the Aggies. That's swung on and fouled at the plate. We talked about that. That's kind of the new trend now, is for pitchers, even with the bases empty, to go from the stretch. That looks like it might be McGrew down in the bullpen for Sumrall. It is. So the lefty may get to work some in the 6th. If there is a 6th, actually, the Bobcats are in 10-run rule territory here. The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball is away. 1-2. Davis is on deck. He's hit the ball well each time, but an outfielder has been in the area. And you hate when that happens. Wind still blowing out toward left, and they're playing Beaudoin deep in left field. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Beaudoin is out for 1 away. And here's Drew Davis. Up until then, the Bobcats had put their leadoff man aboard 3 consecutive innings. Again, Davis 0 for 2, but has made contact each time. First pitch to him is low, ball one. Brazil on deck. Brazil will get to bat. It would be his fourth at bat in 5 innings. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. Davis batting in the 9 hole, but certainly a capable hitter. You just think that as a pitcher, you just want him to focus on pitching, and he's done well. He's only given up 2 hits tonight. The 1-1 swung on and shot right at Coach Davis at third. He'll get to pick on Dad about not fielding that ball cleanly at third. Of course, he didn't have a glove on either. Coach Davis with the blue pullover at third. Coach Cooley wearing the jersey, just the regular black jersey. So many different combos that the Bobcats have, but I still think, even going back years, the Powders are always the favorite, aren't they? The Powder Blues. 1-2 the count to Drew Davis. As the Bobcats bat here in the bottom of the 5th. Breaking ball high, 2-2. 1 out, bases empty. Opening day of Major League Baseball. I remember, don't tell now, but my kids went to Lamar County schools, and every opening day for Major League Baseball, I phoned my son in sick. And we watched baseball all day long. 2-2 pitches outside, 3-2. Can I get in trouble for that now? I doubt it. I find whenever you're in trouble with the school, if you just write a check to the PTA, things have a way of disappearing. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouled into the screen. Am I right about that? Show of hands. Luckily, we don't have a camera on us, so you can't see who exactly raised their hands and who didn't. Payoff pitch coming to Drew Davis. Swung on. There's a drive, but foul. Wow, he got a hold of that one. That one's beyond Miss Shirley's yard over there. Did we decide that was a Bob Dylan song, Miss Shirley's Front Yard? I think it was on his first album. 80% of the people listening have no idea who I'm talking about. The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. That's a good at bat for Drew Davis, and he winds up at first.
Center fielder, Barrett, Brazil.
So here's Brazil. He's grounded to second. He's walked and doubled, but he's scored 2 runs. Now Davis comes out. Is that Harrison? Running at first base. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Can't ever say their names too often. Thank them for what they do. Diversified Forestry Management, Real South Hunting, American Graphics, Watts Brothers Implements, Kids Campus Learning Center, the architect firm of Landry, Lewis in Germany, Spencer Nixon Alpha Insurance, Winburn Lawn and Landscaping, Parkwright Striping and Seal Coating, and High and Tight Gentlemen's Club. First pitch to Brazil is upstairs, ball 1. Again, the wind has freshened again, blowing out toward left. Harrison at first with 1 out. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. Playing Brazil straight away here. Sign in from the catcher, and here's the pitch. There's a strike again on the inner half of the plate. 2 beautiful fastballs. Brazil's got to get to work now with a 1-2 count. on this beautiful Thursday night in northwest Lamar County. Really just a stone's throw from Covington County. The 1-2 swung on. This is lifted out toward left field. Grice is out there, and it is caught. Harrison will have to return to first base. So Brazil went with it. He did what he should have done. So with 2 outs, here's Landon Holloman now. Holloman 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. And he about put it out of here last time up. I was going, man, where did that power come from? First pitch to Holloman is way outside. Ball 1. I'm sure Holloman won't be too happy with me when that gets back to him. That I was questioning his power. But again, shortstops aren't necessarily known for power at the big league level. The 1-0 pitch. Again outside, 2-0. Walker Long is on deck. You've got a 2-0 count to Holloman, so he'll be sitting dead red fastball here. And that might be exactly what he wants. Got it and popped it up. In the infield, second base there to make the catch. That was Nick Rushing that put it away. And the Bobcats go down with no runs since the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. 5 complete. Sumrall 9, Forest County nothing. McGrew into pitch for Sumrall. We'll have it for you in a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. The left-hander Riley McGrew comes in to face the top of the Aggie order in the 6th inning. So Drew Davis's night is done. No runs on 2 hits. 5 strikeouts surrendered, and he gave up 3 walks. But the Aggies still with the goose egg on the scoreboard, and Hayden Grice will lead it off here in the top of the 6th to face the left-hander Riley McGrew.
Leading off on the top of the 6th, left fielder Hayden Grice.
Grice has struck out and walked. Officially 0 for 1. First pitch is swung on. This is a drive down the right field line, dropping, but there to make the catch is Baudouin. He almost overran it, but a big gust of wind at the last minute pushed it back the other way, but good reaction time, and Baudouin makes the catch. 1 away. And to be fair, he was really on his horse getting over there to the line. He had to fly. That ball had a double written all over it. And here's Brooks Lumpkin now, the shortstop. He's 0 for 2, twice has grounded to Holloman at short. Kind of stabbed at that one. hitting second in the order. Blaine Palmer is the catcher. He's on deck. Bases empty, one away here in the sixth. It's like Keaton Malden warming for the Bobcats in the pen should he be needed. 0-1 pitch here's just a bit outside. Just lost the grip on that one. Just lost it. That happens. McGrew on in relief of Davis. A 1-1 pitch. Foul ball at the plate. Now, again, back in the old days, when I played baseball and everything was in black and white, if the ball bounced off of the plate and into fair territory, it's fair ball. It's fair ball. But not anymore, apparently. I was always taught the plate is in fair territory. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. But it also used to be, when I was a kid, that in volleyball, the only way you could score is if you were serving the ball. Not anymore. 2-2 pitch is outside. 3-2. Now in volleyball, somebody scores a point every single rally. Full count here to Lumpkin. The pitch by McGrew swung on, and again, a defensive swing, but he was able to foul it off. Stays 3-2. Couple of great defensive plays by the right side tonight for Sumrall. Tyson Hicks, I just can't speak highly enough about that play. 3-2 pitches outside, ball 4. So Lumpkin is on. And then the catch that Baudouin just made in right field. And here's Blaine Palmer now. Palmer has grounded to third and struck out swinging. He's 0 for 2. But a power hitter with that wind, as you can hear it going through my microphone, blowing out toward left. First pitch here is low and away, ball 1. We've talked about this before, but left-handers sometimes have a problem with that lead shoulder coming open and their pitching arm dropping down a little bit, which causes them to miss outside. 1-0 pitch. There's a strike on the corner. So usually when left-handers miss, they're missing out to right-handed hitters. A ball, a strike, and an out. And a man on. The Bobcats have picked off a runner tonight. This Sumrall team has picked off more guys at second than they have at first. 1-1 pitch. Fouled again. We were talking about Lamar County last names. McGrew is a pretty popular last name in Lamar County. Throw again over to first. 9-0 Sumrall here on the top of the sixth. The Aggies leadoff man Grice flew to right field on that play by Baudouin that we talked about. And then Lumpkin walked. He's the guy at first base. The 1-2 pitch. Outside. Two and two the count. It's got to stretch a little bit here. Bobcats would love to have a ground ball here. 2-2 pitch. He got him on an inside part of the plate. He was looking away. And McGrew fooled him inside, so he goes down on strikes, 2 away. And here's Wes Hughes now. Hughes has been on both times, and both times he's been issued the free pass by Drew Davis, but this is his first look at McGrew. High chopper towards short. Holloman's got it, sets his feet. Throw to first is right on the money. And the Aggies go down with no runs, no hits, no errors, one man left on base. We go to the bottom of the sixth. It's 9-0 Sumrall. This is the home of Bobcat baseball. Long, Walker, and Clinton for Sumrall in the bottom of the sixth. They will face Logan Archer. Archer on in relief of Brett Robertson. So let's see what Walker Long's been up to. He reached on an air, lined out to center, and put a sacrifice fly out to left field to get a run. Well, if he could get one up in the air here now to left field. That would be a walk-off winner. From the stretch, first pitch to him is outside, ball one. Logan Archer started the game at third. So he and Robertson just flip-flop. Robertson over there now. The 1-0 pitch from Archer. Swung on, little cue ball right off the end of the glove. Underhand flip to first, and Walker Long is retired on the 1-3. Fooled him a little bit. Pitch came in slower than he anticipated and got that bat head around a little bit too quickly and poked it right off the end. Connor Walker officially 0 for 1, but he's walked twice and has scored 2 runs. First pitch to him. He wanted to swing. I think if he had it to do over again, he would, but took strike one. 9 runs, 10 hits, no errors for Sumrall. 0-2-1 for the Aggies. Swing and a miss. Aggies playing him straight away here. The Bobcats, regardless of how this game turns out, and you would certainly think they've got it well in hand here, the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, grounder to first. Should be an unassisted play. It is. 2 up and 2 down as the first baseman, Wes Hughes, makes the play. But what I was going to say is if the Bobcats win this game, and by all rights they should, you'd have to look at the middle part of that order, particularly Clinton and Hawkins. They've been murdering the ball. Clinton 3 for 3 tonight with 3 runs scored and an RBI. Hawkins behind him 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Swung on. Here's a drive to center field. Look out. Ball well hit, but moving back and making the catch is Eade, and the Bobcats are up and down 1-2-3 in the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We go to the last chance 7th for the Aggies. It's 9-0 Sumrall on the home of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, the Sumrall Athletics YouTube channel. So here we go, the top of the 7th inning. It'll be Brock, Anderson, and Archer to face Riley McGrew. No save situation for McGrew with a 9-0 lead, but a good opportunity to him to get some miles on the tires here. Brock has put down a sacrifice bunt and grounded out to first. He's officially 0 for 1. And like most pitchers, as we mentioned, McGrew going out of the stretch with nobody on base. Hawkins at third. He's had a game tonight, Hawkins has. Holloman at short. Tyson Hicks at second. And Leo Odom at first. 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. The outfield, Clinton in left, Brazil in center, and Baudouin in right. Preston Anderson on deck for the Aggies here in the last chance 7th. That's inside, 2-1 now. Leadoff man here, the Bobcat defense shading Brock toward right. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on. That look out. Holloman. Look at Holloman get to the hole and throw across his body for out number 1. Anticipates the ball very well. Here's Preston Anderson. Anderson struck out looking and singled. He is 1 for 2. Of course, I've been a fan, and I know people are going, yeah, boy, he really likes, I do. I like Landon Holloman a lot. 3 years ago when that kid made his debut, I said, that kid can play some defense. Here's the 0-1 pitch coming up to Preston Anderson. McGrew ahead in the count. Breaking ball off the plate inside, and it was. Hawkins, interestingly, looks at the third base coach every once in a while to see if some signal might be forthcoming to know that the opposing team might be up to something. 2-1 now. Look out, ball loose at second. That was much too easy of a ball to pick up there for Holloman, that little slow roller there. 2-1 the count. Logan Archer on deck. Bases empty, 1 out for the Aggies here in the top of the 7th. 2-1 pitch. Swung on. Here's another chopper. This one is going to be to Hicks. He'll have to throw across his body and off the mark. I think that's a hit. I think you rule that a hit for Anderson because Hicks was going to the hole. And 9 times out of 10, if that defender doesn't even get there, that's a hit. And it is ruled as such. So here's Logan Archer. Check that. No, we've got a pinch hitter here now. Jared Dyson is the hitter for the Aggies. Dyson hitting for Archer here. No, it's Gerard. Gerard Dyson? Gerard Dyson, thank you. Want to make sure we get it right. Lefty versus righty to Gerard Dyson. Off the, no, strike on the corner. A ball and a strike now. The Aggies doing a good job of putting the ball up the middle, but the Bobcat defenders, if they haven't made the play, have been darn close. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now. McGrew ahead in the count. Gerard Dyson. McGrew checks the runner. There's a piece of it into the screen. Staying alive with a 1-2 count. 3 days in a row of baseball for the Bobcats. Well, it's interesting when you look at Brazil's sunglasses in center field, the way that he's kind of flashing them off the light. It looks like called strike 3 on the outside corner on a breaking ball. So Dyson's down on strikes, 2 away. But I was saying Brazil's sunglasses, the way they're reflecting off of the lights, it looks almost like he's flashing Morse code up here to us. You guys see what I'm talking about? That wild? So here's Landon Anderson now in a pinch hitting role for Eade. Anderson against McGrew takes strike 1 on the corner. So Riley McGrew has done well in relief of Drew Davis. And again, no save situation here. The 0-1 pitch, outside 1-1. Nick Rushing is the scheduled next hitter, and he is in the on-deck circle, so here's the 1-1, and that hit him. So runners on first and second, 2 away, and here is Rushing. Aggies will put a courtesy runner on here, but here's Rushing now. He has singled and lined out softly to the shortstop. 1 for 2, hitting 9th in the order. The Aggies, if nothing else, would like to get that goose egg off the scoreboard. And you got a lefty-lefty matchup here. First pitch from McGrew is inside, ball 1. Grice is on deck, the top of the order for the Aggies. This game has really not been in much doubt from the early stages. There's a strike on the corner as McGrew works the outside. Keaton Malden was warming up earlier, but he is absent from the pen right now. The 1-1 pitch from McGrew, and that hit him. 2 consecutive hit batsmen have loaded the bases. Now there's 2 outs. And back to the top of the order in Hayden Grice, who has played a good left field tonight. 0 for 2 officially with a walk. So any base, including home, has the force on it. McGrew kicks and delivers outside, ball 1. So it's talking about how left-handers always tend to miss outside with right-handed hitters. Here in the top of the 7th inning, 1-0 pitch, outside again. So McGrew trying to collect himself here. Even if the Aggies are to score, you want whoever you're playing to earn the runs. There's a strike on the corner, 2-1. You notice something that Holloman does there too between pitches is, in case there's a bad throw from the catcher, he always kind of jaunts in there to make sure. Here he comes again. There's the throw from long. 3-1. The count to Grice. Grice should be sitting fastball here. The 3-1, way outside, ball 4. And the Aggies are on the board. A 9-1 ball game. And this is a good chance for Andy Davis to give McGrew some experience in a tough spot here with the bases loaded. That ball's outside. Lumpkin has walked and grounded out twice. He's 0 for 2. The 1-0 pitch. That one's there, and here's a drive to left center field, but Brazil is on to make the catch. That retires the side, and that is the ball game. The Bobcats win it 9-1. The final line score, Sumrall 9 runs, 10 hits, no errors. for the Aggies. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error. Drew Davis gets the win for the Bobcats, and the Bobcats and Aggies will do it again tomorrow in Brooklyn and then Saturday in Brandon. The Bobcats win it and up the record to 14-4 overall, now 4-1 in region play. Tyler Johnson will have the call of the game tomorrow night and Saturday. But as always, thank you for joining us. Thanks to all of our sponsors for making it possible. For producer engineer Brody Courtney, I'm Kelly Sander. Thanks for watching. You have been watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball on the Sumrall